I'm going to be looking down because I went to 4 Apple sessions about this, and so I want to reference directly from my notes. But essentially, spatial audio and spatial video is thinking about moments that people want to relive. And so Apple's model is preparing for the future of tomorrow. So think about the content creation realm and also the music industry. If you are on an iPhone, you can look up spatial audio, and there's playlists that essentially are curated and created with the intention of you are also in the studio. You are also in that moment with the artist. As it relates to spatial videos, say I am on a vacation. I'm going to Ghana in a couple days. So, say I wanted to document my trip to Ghana and make it in the perspective as if you were standing right next to me in the moment. So, you too are hearing the ocean hit the sand and all the intricacies of the sound and also the vivid color. And so, as it relates to music, I wrote down the future of music engagement. Spatial computing technologies is a tool for creatives and creative professionals. Again, think about moments that people want to relive. An example that they reference is the album Notorious B.I.G. and that remastering through spatial audio is opening a new lens for storytelling. So think about this through virtual reality. And if you were to put on a VR headset, like you are immersed in that moment. Essentially, that is what Apple is doing with storytelling through audio and video. There are no experts in this field. None. This is coming directly from the heads of Apple. There are no experts in this field because the field is being created as I am speaking. There are hundreds of startup founders literally building the tools that you will be using in the future, that they are going to make billions of dollars now. Because there are no experts, it's literally in experimentation. And so, if you are thinking about the next chapter of the creator economy, it's within this realm of storytelling as it relates to spatial audio and spatial video. So, some more of the notes that I took down, it says creative possibilities are endless, redefining the barrier of the industry. Access is redefining the budget. The iPhones are being created in this scope of you don't need a camera, you have your iPhone with the capabilities of spatial video, spatial audio. I think there's this viral video that was going around. I don't know if it's still going around, of this guy walking down the streets of New York, recording on his iPhone, and then he used the feature of like spatial audio where you could not hear the background sounds. So that is another example of this technology. So the coding language that Apple uses is called Swift. You can look it up in iOS. They have it, and they also have it for kids and developers. I believe developer package is about $100, but you have to apply for that program. The developer program for Apple is the SDR kit for Vision OS. Also, they use Logic. Swift UI is a coding language specifically for Apple development. There's new jobs being created. Think about this from a consulting perspective because there is no job posting, right? Because this is a realm that is not fully solidified. So it's based off of networking, who you know, going to the right tech events, going and shaking hands with people and pitching yourself in that way, using yourself as like a strategist and consultant. Also because you have the freedom of working with different companies, different startups, all that good stuff. Some more notes that I wrote down is all about re-experiencing, creating differently. So that is also explaining why you see more TikTok videos and YouTube videos being created in cinematic perspective. Vlogs used to be like, hey girl, come with me. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to the nail shop. I'm doing this. If you have noticed a shift, especially with like the top creators, it went from very casual to as if you are watching an episode or a movie. That is intentional. follow that path. If you are a creator and you're starting from ground zero and you want to go the storytelling route, you want to go like the vlogging lifestyle route, you need to be on that curve of cinematic perspective. You need to know color grading. You need to know angles. You need to invest in camera quality or utilize Apple. This is not an ad. This is, I went to one of their sessions or 4 of their sessions. The average consumer does not understand the capabilities of technology, and that is why I am here to help y'all. Not only because I used to work in tech, and so I still have those really deep relationships and partnerships with different Fortune 500 companies, but to also close the gaps of inequity as it relates to career pathways. Because if I did not go to that event, it was at Afrotech. I did not pay for my ticket at Afrotech. Excuse me. They gave it to me for free, and I did not have that access. I would not know that these things exist. And maybe if I were to come upon this information, it would be delayed, but through my access and accessibility in academia. And so I am here to make all of these things accessible to you because I want to see y'all in these rooms. I cannot stress that enough. I want to be having conversations with y'all and brainstorming with y'all, not just through TikTok, but also through these networking events, through just commonalities, right? And so I urge anybody, if you are starting out, if you are in university, it doesn't matter if you're an undergrad or you're in graduate school and you're trying to plan your career, or if you are just someone looking for a pivot, you have to be so aware of how the workforce is shifting. We are not in the same workforce era that we were in 2 years ago. We are in a technological workforce era, especially if you are in the United States. And so you need to be aware, how is marketing changing? How is storytelling changing? How is education changing? How is fashion changing? How is HR changing? How is software development changing with the innovation of AI, with the innovation of machine learning, with the innovation of all of these things? And you need to be knowledgeable on that, especially if you want to make the big bucks.